I hinted at Jeff about tearing out the shower, and he said, if you think it's what's good, and I said, on my way. So it's 11:30 at night, but I don't have to work tomorrow, and I want the shower gone, so I'm about to rip it out. So here's a basic concept. There's a waterproof board on the back wall. There's a waterproof board on that back wall. There's a little connector between them to put your soaps and stuff on. Alright, and then there's this glass frame that goes here. Silicone down to there, silicone all the way across, silicone up. So I'm going to rip all of this out and then take these boards off. So you can see there's some small cracks and stuff. I mean, it's nothing serious. I'd rather replace it, and now's the time. The important part is I see if these pipes are busted. Alright guys, I'll bring you along for the mess. There actually is a party at Jeff's for his birthday on September 14th, and we need to make sure all these amenities are working. Maybe not the shower, but this is just part of that. In order to have a large gathering of people, we're going to need to have a sink to wash hands and a restroom, etc. So it's crunch time. Basically, we have around 3 weeks to get this place operational for a whole bunch of people to show up. Alright, so I'm just going to start cutting this silicone out. And I'll do this from the inside and out. I would imagine that's all that's holding it, but I really don't know. I considered pulling this thing all out in one piece, but I'd feel pretty bad if I broke it. I told Jeff I could do this cheaply, so I'd like to keep all of this intact, so I'm just going to take it apart like you would assemble it and just be safe. Why would Jeff let me work on this stuff? He must be a crazy person. Alright guys, so you can see the cracks and stuff a little better now. Like I said, we could have just sealed them up. We're going to replace it all. This thing here in the middle where you put your soaps, I'm going to try to save that. It's peeling up a little bit. I tried to peel it before and it started to crack, so I'm going to cut it out really carefully, try to save that, and then all we got to do is get 2 new boards to replace. There's the trim that holds in the glass, so I'll take that off. Alright, let me cover my hole back up. I'm going to run around here with the screw gun. I was really hoping that this sheet was just screwed to this. It's not. It's actually glued to the 1/4 inch plywood, so it's going to be a little more costly. I guess we're going to have to get some plywood. But it's ready to come out. I just got to take these off and then cut around this really good. Alright, next mission is get this thing out in one piece. I think there's screws back behind this thing. I really gotta get it off there. I don't think it's gonna come off in one piece. Jeff, love it for one last time. Sorry, dude. There better be screws behind here. Either way, it was glue. I mean, I wasn't gonna get it off. There was literally no way to do it. So they put the plywood up, then put this, then screwed it, then put this over it. So I couldn't just cut the caulking off and save this, unfortunately. This is why Jeff didn't want me to tear the shower out, because he wanted to save this, and he knew if I tore it out I wouldn't save it. But I really did try to. Could cut it off right there and give you a bottom section. That's 2 soaps. Why do you need more than 2 soaps? I haven't told Jeff yet, but I met the guy who actually did all of this work. So I know who to blame for this now. He shouldn't have told me. Okay, so now what I'm struggling with is they put the plywood behind the footing and they put the little sheet in front of the footing. So I just gotta wiggle it up once I clear these lines here. Or not. Good thing everything in here is like solid wood and I can't really hurt it. I was really hoping that we would be able to see the lines right there. It means now we're going to have to pull these boards out too. But better figure it out right now before we're in it. That's why I was trying to prep it. Ouch! Alright, I've got to tear out this wall at least from here down. Now we're starting to see why Jeff and Sean did not want me to mess with the shower. I'm going to bust these 2 pieces off right here, pry this out, that'll show me what's going on, and then I'll just have to take a pry bar and pry this. Alright, got this board ready to come out. Okay. These lines don't look broken. Sitting up here on two little nails. Shark bite fitting right here, shark bite fitting right here. We'll have that much. And it's on an inside wall that'll be heated for now on, so we'll just probably cut it off about right in here and then drop pegs to the floor. That way we don't have to worry about all this assembly, we don't have to tear out any more of the wall. And I don't have to move this footing, so. Sean told me that these would probably be fine because they're on the inside wall, but I just didn't want to risk it. I wanted it to be done when we say it's done and not have to turn it on and come back to do it again. So Sean was right, but at least now we know. Stick we can use if we absolutely need it. Okay, I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up a little bit, and then I'm gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna check on the hot water heater real fast and see if I can tell what the fittings look like going into it. I don't know if you guys remember, I cut off the CPVC about 10 inches underneath. The hot water heater is under here. I'm going to pull this out, see how the connections are down there. It didn't look broken through the floor, but if it's easy enough, I'm going to disconnect it and put PEX up to there. Let's see. Alright, you can kind of see up here, the top of the hot water heater comes over, the back one's back there. Come down, insulated, and then here's a shutoff valve, and the other one is right back there. You can barely see it. Cracked. And it comes up quite a ways. So, I'm going to keep this shutoff valve, I'm going to cut right above it. And that way, if we do have to replace it, we'll just replace it up here. Cut off this cut it off right here at this shutoff valve. Then I'm going to try to get back there and cut it off at that one too. These lines are super brittle. I was trying to cut them and they're just breaking. They're all cracked all the way. So I'm going to cut it off close to the floor as I can. That way we can knock it back down. And then I try to keep this. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to let Sean look at it. Okay. Here's cutoff number 1, cutoff number 2. You got it cut off. I had to move this over a little bit. It doesn't seem like that back one was broke, but I hate to lie. We'll tear this off and do some double checking before we seal it up. Like I said, I'm just gonna see what Sean wants to do. Okay, got them both cut off. Got them both knocked to the floor. I get the toilet one cut off because I had to check what this thread was so I could get the new fittings tomorrow. We'll go ahead and just cut this one right here, knock it through the floor. Brittle, brittle. Okay, well it's loose enough that we can pull it through on the other side. I know it looks like an absolute mess, but it had to be done. We had to get everything tore out so that we can get it all replaced. So it looks like I've got everything set up. Saturday should be go time. I don't get off till 5 or 6 o'clock. Jeff's talking about being here at 2. Sean was talking about being here earlier than me. So they're going to be ready to go as soon as they get here. Everything's prepped and ready. So I'm going to put 2 new fittings on 2 PEX lines and just drop them through the floor for the washer. Here's the one that's already broken. And this one was still good, so I didn't actually cut it out yet. So I'm going to cut it as close to the floor as I can. That way I'll save all that line. And then knock it through, drop the new lines, put the fittings on there, and screw these in. Now I still have that fitting. Okay. Both lines have been knocked through the floor. Alright, I got a cold washer and a hot washer. And we'll put rings on them and crimp them on Saturday. Alright, hot water on this side. Cold water on that side. Alright guys, Saturday we'll be back and this stuff will be knocked out. It'll be a thing of the past.